You've probably heard the name Tor before, usually followed by phrases like anonymous browsing, hackers, and of course, the dark web. But here is the simple truth, okay? Tor isn't illegal, and it's not just cyber criminals who use Tor. In fact, I will say that Tor is probably the most misunderstood tool on the internet, which is why in today's video, I'm going to explain exactly what Tor is, how it actually works, address some common misconceptions about using Tor, and whether or not it's actually safe and reliable to use Tor in the year 2025. And I will also give you a brief demonstration on how to work with Tor. Sounds good? Let's get started. Guys, welcome back to Lab Cyber. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, my name is Alex. I cover topics around cybersecurity, AI. So if you do enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. So what exactly is Tor? Well, Tor stands for the Onion Router. And the word onion wasn't chosen by mistake. Onions are a perfect way to describe exactly how Tor actually works. And in fact, I have one very smelly piece of onion right here, and yeah, the whole place is stinking. But here's the thing, okay? Onions, we know onions have multiple layers, right? So think of the innermost layer in here as your actual data, the data that you're sending across the internet. That data has been covered in multiple layers of encryption. So basically, if you were to use the Tor browser or the Tor network or use a Tor connection, your data is going to be heavily protected by multiple layers of encryption. And if anyone wanted to somehow gain access to the actual content that you were sending, they would have to somehow miraculously bypass all these layers of encryption. And that's why Tor is a very powerful tool for encryption and also for anonymity and privacy. So basically, every time you visit a website using Tor, your connection will bounce through several volunteer-run servers or nodes scattered all around the world. So each node knows only where the connection came from and where to send the connection to next, but never the entire full path. And that's why Tor is fantastic for anonymity. Now, when you connect to a Tor website or you use the Tor connection, your data will go through three main nodes. First, you will have the entry node, which will be the entry into the actual Tor connection itself. You will have a middle node and of course an exit node. So each one of these nodes may add or remove a layer of encryption so that no single point will ever know both who you are and what it is that you're actually trying to do. So the final exit node will basically be the destination website that you're trying to connect to. That website will see an IP address, but obviously it's not going to be your actual real IP address. Now, I want to address some common misconceptions about Tor, and the very first one here is that Tor is always used by cyber criminals and the bad guys. This is of course not true. While yes, we do have the bad guys who use Tor, they're not the only ones. We have government agents, we have journalists, we have activists, and even regular normal day people could also use Tor for a variety of reasons. So Tor isn't illegal. It's not a bad thing to use Tor. Now, I also want to address something about Tor, and a lot of people believe that Tor is somehow this magical tool that when you use it, then all of a sudden you are completely invisible online. That is not true. While Tor is a very powerful tool for privacy and anonymity, if you are careless, your identity can still be exposed. For example, if you were to log into any one of your personal accounts, say your Gmail account as an example, even with the use of Tor, your identity will still be exposed. Tor cannot protect you from malware. It is not an anti-malware tool. So if you're careless enough to use Tor while surfing dangerous websites, your computer, your device may get infected. And of course, don't forget the fact that when you use Tor, your internet connectivity is going to be slow, much slower than using VPNs. Again, remember that Tor is all about privacy, security, anonymity, encryption. So your data going through all those layers of protection, it's going to slow your connectivity down. So if it's the first time you're using Tor and you notice that to open up a website, it's taking you 10 seconds, don't be surprised. That's just how Tor normally works. So with all that being said, is Tor still worth using? I will say yes, but it depends on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Obviously, if you're trying to access certain kinds of sites that are prohibited or restricted in your location, then Tor might be your only option. There are also certain kinds of links that can only be accessed specifically via the Tor browser. So obviously, without Tor, you wouldn't be able to access those links. And then, of course, if you wanted to access certain kinds of websites and you don't want your personal identity to be associated with such websites for one reason or the other, then Tor would be your ideal option. But other than that, if you're just surfing the internet as a normal person, you don't really care that much about privacy or anonymity, then Tor would not be an ideal tool to use. Now, let me give you a brief demonstration on how to download Tor and how to use it. So, first things first is you will have to download the Tor browser. So you want to go to torproject.org/download. And in here on the homepage, you will see the different versions of the Tor browser. Simply download the one that's appropriate for your device. I am running Windows, so I'm going to go ahead and download for Windows. And I'll go ahead and simply install it like I would install any other software. So once you've installed the Tor browser and then you run it, this is what you are going to see. Now, right off the bat, you have two options. You can configure connection. This typically would be used whenever you're trying to access Tor in a country where it is prohibited or where it is restricted. You can bypass such restrictions over here. You can also access additional settings for the Tor browser. But if you're not interested in that, you can simply click on connect. And now we are connecting to the Tor network. So very quickly, I'm going to go ahead right now and access a normal website. This is labcyber.com, my own personal platform for cybersecurity courses. Now, you will notice that the connection went quite fast. That's because I have already accessed LabCyber several times using the Tor browser. So don't be fooled, okay? Normally, it might take up to 10 seconds, maybe even longer to access our normal websites using the Tor browser. So you can see right there, it actually works. But now I'm going to open up. Oh, before I do that, let me point out something very, very important. You will notice that on your Tor browser, the view of your browser window, it doesn't go full width or full height. It's kind of like in this box. That is deliberate because the Tor browser has been configured to make browser fingerprinting impossible. Browser fingerprinting is basically the process where websites can figure out who you are or figure out your device simply by your screen size, the kind of fonts you have installed, the version of your browser, and so much more. So by basically putting your browser window into this box, browser fingerprinting becomes impossible. But now I want to show you one of the special kinds of links that you can only access via the Tor browser. Notice right here that the URL makes no sense. It's very, very long, and then it ends in .onion. This right there will tell you that these kinds of sites or links can only be accessed via the Tor browser. Now, what is this particular link I've shown you? It's called Secure Drop. It's basically used by people who want to provide anonymous tips or whistleblowers, and of course, identity. Their personal identity is of extreme importance. So they will use this particular kind of link to send to, whoever it is that they're trying to send that information to. So here is just one of countless examples of special links and sites that you can only access via the Tor browser. Obviously, I know a lot more, but I don't want to show you because I'm afraid this video might get flagged or might get taken down by YouTube. But hopefully, I've given you enough of a demonstration on how to download Tor and how to actually use it. Well, there you have it, my basic explanation of what the Tor browser actually is. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share this video with anyone who you may feel might benefit from it. Now, real quick, if you're interested in learning more about Tor, VPNs, firewalls, and cybersecurity in general, then why not check out my personal platform, labcyber.com. Over there, I have tons of different types of cybersecurity courses that will teach you everything there is to know about cybersecurity. And I also do have some AI courses as well. So if you're interested, be sure to check it out. If you have any comments or questions about today's video, put them down in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I can. My name is Alex. It's been a pleasure teaching you the basics about Tor. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.